on the Gories RoADIO on that thing. Oh yeah, anyway, so since we only have 35 seconds of good sound possibly on ScatterBrothers, I just want to mention real quick, this video will be on ScatterBreaker, the man from 1976, along with sound and the full video. As you can see, I'm doing a screen recording or if you can see at the beginning of the video. And I'll be talking about Bhediya 3D, I think that's what it was called, I can't remember. In fact, I can't really remember the film too much. But I will say, just go see it, and in San Antonio at least, it's on still in 3D till Thursday. Well, today actually is the last day, I guess, for it. So, and then An Action Hero was never out in 3D, so it might be there for a while. I don't really know. I think it's new. But I'll be talking about those two movies, both Bollywood films. I'll just say Hindi language films, possibly, because I know that in Bhediya he keeps telling this other guy to speak Hindi. So, but I don't know, there's so many different languages I don't even know, you know? Anyway, the Bhediya one did not go very long before, so I just wanted to kind of rectify that, and talk about these two movies. So, yeah, let's see, that's the screen recording right there, and I'm just going to put it just like this for now. So, I'll talk about An Action Hero first, because that was the first one the latest one I saw, and it was pretty good actually. Like, it did have some of that Bollywood like song and dance stuff, but it kind of made sense actually. You know, I would complain about that sort of. Oh, I'm gonna turn this down. I would complain about that sort of stuff. Oh, by the way, this was Give Me Love, and before that I was hearing Hidden Charms, but I don't know if that was on the show. I don't think so. Thunderbird SQ, I believe, was. So anyway, just to give credit where credit's due, and then I'm gonna cut those parts off on the YouTube one so it doesn't get blocked or whatever, and then nobody can see this video at all, right? An Action Hero was pretty good actually. I mean, I find that a lot of Bollywood films, like, I did have to use my headphones for my own sense of like what I like as far as music goes. There seemed to be some auto-tune in the music, so if you are like me and you don't really like that sound bothers you or whatever, kind of the way that feedback bothers other people, then you might want to just bring your own music and listen to something you like, and then you'll like the movie even more. So, I mean, I wouldn't say this is one of the greatest Bollywood films I've ever seen, but that's for sure. It was kind of, you know, weirdly silly at times, you know, like, but it also didn't really, what's it called? It didn't disappoint on the, what usually seems to happen in Bollywood films is that it's very, very complicated plots, like, or not necessarily complicated, but like things change all the time, lots of twists and turns, and you know, a lot of that sort of is he your enemy or your friend kind of thing. So it was kind of like those kind of things, and then like kind of like complicated in the way that like True Romance was complicated, you know, like where different factions were coming into play, that sometimes as a Deus Ex Machina, and sometimes, you know, to actually like complicate the situation. But I thought it was like pretty well done. I mean, like, it wasn't badly done, so it wasn't like, you know, I don't like chick flicks, so I'll just say it wasn't like a chick flick. You know, it was definitely a big screen worthy movie in the way that the action was good and all that, but at the same time, it wasn't like a bunch of explosions or things like that. You know what I mean? So like, so yeah, I would recommend checking out big screen if you can, especially if you have like unlimited. Why wouldn't you? You know? So, I would maybe put it above, like, well, I was gonna say I'd put it above Pinocchio, but that's just because I really didn't like the music in that, and I don't really know for sure. We're gonna be doing a review on Pinocchio next, so the Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. But I would almost say, just because there's so many different Pinocchios, like one that already just came out with the guy from A Beautiful Life, or wait, what was that called? Anyway, that was back in the 90s, so that was a while back. But Benicio something, right? Anyway, but this is Guillermo del Toro, so you kind of expect a lot from it. But I walked in and heard some really, really bad music, in my opinion. So for that reason, I would say the music is better in this Bhediya. I mean, in an action hero. But no, actually, there was some real cheesy kind of like rock music, and I was like thinking, I need to listen to some metal or something like during this, you know. I was actually kind of thinking, because the closest I ever get to metal, really, I mean, well, maybe going beyond, I feel like what would be considered hard in metal, you know, because I feel like metal sometimes kind of cheesy in itself. I was like thinking about putting on like Ministry while I was watching it or something like that, you know, something heavy but also like something I like, you know. I just never did. I think I was listening to Wooden Ships or something like that. It was not really inappropriate music for it, necessarily, because you think action hero, you think like metal or like something heavy, like heavy rock kind of style or whatever. But yeah, so I don't know, an action hero, like, it wouldn't get like the highest marks, but it would definitely not get the lowest marks either, because when the singing and dancing, kind of like the staple Bollywood stuff happens, it makes sense because it's at a wedding kind of situation. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, are they just imagining that it's this good? And but no, I mean, it was a rich man's wedding, so it did make sense actually. So yeah, I kind of really do recommend seeing the big screen for that reason, but you know, for the reasons that it's, you know, wasn't bad for. But at the same time, it's like, is it a 4-bullet movie? I wouldn't say so. Out of 6, it wouldn't be like over half necessarily. Well, it would be over half, I guess, because I'd probably give it like 3 bullets and. Ooh, I don't know what the decimals would be. I'd probably give this one like a 3.5. I'll just stay in the middle. So I'll just say 3.5. Like 3 bullets and 1 shell. Because actually it makes sense to have bullets and shells as the spin shells, you know, as the thing for an action movie, right? For a movie called An Action Hero, right? So yeah, I'll give it 3.5 bullets out of 6. You know, for the, you know, yeah, it didn't have a whole. It was actually better than some that I've seen, because they have that long, cheesy song where you read the words on the subtitles, which is another good reason to be able to use your headphones, is you just read the subtitles. Anyway, you're reading the subtitles anyway, so. Which is one thing that's bad for a 3D movie, which is what I'll talk about next, is Bhediya, which is about a werewolf. Bhediya, maybe Bhediya. That probably sounds more like how you should pronounce that, but I have no idea. Yeah, you always kind of learn a little bit about the culture in these. Like, you kind of like learn a little bit, I feel like, about. And I just need to read into it, because there's like so many different factions, it seems like, within the India area. I'm just gonna say, because I don't really even know if we're talking about things outside of India as well. I know this one definitely took place in London a lot, and Mumbai. I think so. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. And then a couple other places in that area. So yeah, good big screen worthy scenes and all that. So yeah, it would be worth seeing on the big screen, I think. But you might want to see Violent Night first, or Strange World in 3D first, if you know, and maybe even Bhediya first in 3D. Bhediya 3D first, because of the fact that it's in 3D. You know? And as I always say, you know, if you've ever encountered a bad 3D screening and you think it doesn't work for you, give it another chance, please. Yeah, so anyway, I think I've talked enough about An Action Hero. Oh, the actor. I always think the actors in Bollywood movies are like, it's like a different, I feel like it's a different sort of like scale, or what's it called? Different kind of, well, whatever. The attributes that would tend to be like handsome in America would be different in Bollywood films. But this guy did kind of remind me a little bit of like Sylvester Stallone, like in the eye area, in the eyes, whatever. But I always feel like they always have that '80s hair too. It's funny, like it's almost like it's like, is this for the action movie aspect or? But a lot of the ones I've seen are like kind of period pieces, so it makes more sense with that hair like that. But as an action hero, I wonder if that's why his hair was like that, or if that's just like a staple or standard for Bollywood films. I think it might be, because I feel like I've seen a lot of that, like really flowy hair in the back and all that. Anyway, back to the next movie. Bhediya 3D, about a werewolf, a group of guys. The effects weren't that great, but the 3D was good, and there was a lot of like really coming at you kind of stuff, you know, like where they're actually using 3D appropriately, which I would expect with an Asian film, because of the fact that they just appreciate it more in Asia. It seems like they actually do give it more of a chance in Asia than we do in America. I feel like so. As a general rule. But it kind of sucks if you have to read the subtitles and then try to catch the 3D as well. It's almost like one you want to almost see twice. And in fact, I'd want to see it twice because I can't remember it. I cannot remember it. I think it's because I was reading, and whenever I read, I'm not really... Uh-oh, I'm offline on that one. I wonder how long I've been offline. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, because even before I was offline on that, I bet it was actually... yeah, I'm gonna go on again. And just say this is 2:29 now, and now I'm talking about Bhediya. So this is the second one, which will go with this screen recording. And what was I saying about Bhediya right before I said that? Yeah, it sucks to read the subtitles and then to try to catch the action, so you might want to see it twice. And it's because also I want to see it twice because I just don't remember it very much, and I've tried to cut things out of my life so that like that won't happen. But my memory is already bad. Like, it's just bad no matter what. So I need to really talk about movies right away when I see them, and I did talk about this movie right away when I saw it. But unfortunately, the screen recording device died during the screen recording, and therefore that screen recording, none of it came out. And it probably went on longer than the actual live version, where I just talk about, like, I don't know if this is from Pakistan or India, and just like making a fool of myself basically, when I just should have said it was a Bollywood film and leave it at that. And it was probably like, because I just didn't know what language it was, because there was like what seemed like another sort of Asian culture represented in it, besides and I think I can say Indian, right? Like, besides people from India. And he kept saying speak in Hindi to this other guy. Speak in Hindi, and he was like, I am speaking in Hindi. And I think he was just making fun of the fact that he wasn't speaking Hindi very well or whatever. So I think it was definitely a Hindi language film anyway. But as far as the film itself, I actually might have to revisit this one, because I do not recall much about it at all. I could be stressed because it was like at a 4 o'clock showing, and normally I can't make 4 o'clock showings, and they wait till 7, and like I'm supposed to help take care of the kids with dinner and everything, and so I may have just been stressed out. But I'm just gonna say, definitely go see it. If you see it, that it is in 3D, definitely go support that, and let me know what you think too. Like, let me know. And we can even do like a non-spoiler review, because I'll be like, well, what happened in it? And I wish there was a way with this new format here that I can, that I could like chat, because I don't even know where the chat is. Like, I know it's 2:45. I know it's live, or seems to be. I know some people followed me recently, but I don't know. I don't know how to find the chat on this one. Like in the old ones, I just click on the thing. I'm glad that I've done the video where I actually show what it looked like, because I could easily see the chat. Now I can't even respond to anybody. Anyway, so I apologize for that if if anybody's chatting and I'm not responding because I have no idea how to chat now. Anyway, I'm just gonna say, because it was in 3D and because I remember enjoying it and thinking, so as far as like the storyline goes, that I can't really say anything too much about it, but I do know there was a lot of really good violent action with the wolf attacks and it was really funny. I think there was a lot of really funny parts too. So in that way, it almost reminded me of American Werewolf in London, but it didn't have that extra aspect of the kind of the ghoul sort of following him around, or ghost or whatever, the ghouly ghost, friend or whatever. Oh, that's right. I remember now. He got bit in the butt. That was weird. And yeah, but that's all I remember really. So, well, I remember more, but it would be a spoiler. I couldn't really say. So I'm just gonna say on this one, definitely go see this if you can. And it incorporates like sort of the indie, like, well, I'm not gonna say witch gods, but some kind of gods, which I think this kind of like werewolf was. Well, maybe I shouldn't even say that. I don't know. So you should check it out. It's I'm gonna give it 4 silver bullets out of 6, and oh wow, what could be the? Oh, I think I even thought about like a decimal that I could use for this one. I might watch. I don't know. I can't watch it. I mean, they got it at bad times right now. It's only at 4 o'clock all week long. Like, that's the only option you have. So if you can't make it to a 4 o'clock, how would you ever watch it? You could never watch this movie. It sucks. It sucks how they do this. Like at least put it at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, or, well, I mean, for me it would be better if it was 9 or 10 o'clock, really. But maybe that's not the general public. Maybe, I don't know. I don't understand why movie theaters do the things that they do and the way that they do them. So, but I imagine that if anybody is chatting on the Scatter Brothers one, that they are probably saying you're silenced, and so I might as well just end the show here. And I'll be putting these on ScatterBreaker, the man from 1976, on YouTube. So check it out there, and check out more videos, more reviews there, along with some on the RoADIO shows, like we kind of started this one off as, or started the last one off as. But it really was more about the review, so I had to turn the music down and make it so that they won't silence it for that reason. I don't know why they silenced my videos otherwise. Maybe it's just like, your videos suck, But in any case, I will do a little bit of a thing here that I do at the end of the video shows, just because. Now this is "Let Your Daddy Ride" by the Gories. I'm just gonna do this just to prove that it was live, or that it looked like it was live, I should say. It never works very well during the day. That'll be it. So I will